I will say the one thing I am a little bit concerned about is we talk about depth and your bench isn't very good. I don't know who's going to come in and step up when it comes down to playoff time, when it comes down to Jason Tatum getting hurt. We've seen it right now. A guy goes down with COVID and the Celtics have been struggling. Now, if he gets hurt, then what? If Jalen gets hurt, then what? That's where it starts to really become a problem because you don't have the depth to fill in. That's where I bring in a trade, Caleb. And this is a trade that you haven't heard of. Are you ready for this trade?
Yes.
Celtics fans, you tell me if you're ready for this trade. So the Kings offer Harrison Barnes, stick with me, and Rashawn Holmes for the Celtics to give back the TBE and a future protected first round pick, as well as Tristan Thompson. You're Danny Ainge, Caleb. Do you do that deal?
Yes. I know that Barnes has a little bit more years left on his contract, but wing depth is a serious issue for us. Even like a lot of Celtics fans, like just wait till Romeo Langford comes back. Like I love Romeo. He showed some flashes last year, but I'm not ready to have him come in and be the main guy off a bench on a team that, let's face it, Celtics fans in general think that this team is a championship caliber team. I don't necessarily agree with that, but that's a big notion around the fan base. You don't want Romeo coming in a second year guy who averaged 12 minutes per game last year when he did play. You don't want him coming in and having that on his table. You'd much rather have Harrison Barnes in that role, and Barnes has been pretty good this year. And that's not even getting into the major upgrade of Rashawn Holmes. A significant upgrade. What was that, 2 years ago you guys signed him?
Yes. 2 years ago,
He
this is his second year, and he has been playing
yes.
out of his mind again.
He was on my bargain free agents watch list, right? I felt very good about him in Phoenix. I thought, man, if he gets a bigger role, he's going to be able to take that next step, kind of like a higher usage. Like once you get more usage, you get more numbers, right? I felt like he was that kind of player. So I thought, man, I would love to get him. Of course, for the same contract that King signed Rashawn Holmes for, Danny Ainge gave Ennis Canner, which we're not going to get too much into that, but it was the exact same contract. And I was like, man, that is really, 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 really bad. You now bring in Rashawn Holmes and Harrison Barnes. It's a significant upgrade to not only the bigs, but also the bench depth. And that is massive heading into the playoffs. If Celtics fans really genuinely do believe that this team is a championship contending team, you have to make a move like that. You can't, and I don't want to hear people say, but Tristan's been half decent. Look at his defensive rating. Like, please shut the hell up. When we played the 76ers, Embiid was just toasting him. Does Holmes stop Embiid? Probably not. More than likely not. But he does a lot better than Tristan Thompson was. Embiid over those two games scored 38 points against Tristan Thompson when he was guarded by him. 38 over 2 games. That's ridiculous. You can't have that. You're never gonna. That's horrible. I need Celtics fans to understand that is really, really, really bad to let one player do that to you. That's torching you, and you can't have somebody do that. And admittedly, I was very big on the Tristan Thompson signing, but at the same time, he just hasn't lived up to that contract at all. And then you see guys like Miles Turner tearing it up, Clint Capella, who Celtics were interested in a while ago. You see them tearing it up, and then you're like, well, we got Tristan Thompson. I think Ainge needs to stop playing money ball at the center position and go get a guy that's proven. And I think Holmes is proven to be able to make an impact. I'd much rather have Holmes. And yeah, and you know what? That first round pick, screw that first round pick. Piss on it and send it to Sacramento. I don't care anymore.
Well, that's why I think Sacramento would do that deal. Now, Harrison is a guy that started off the year really well, but he hasn't been playing very good the past 6 games. He's had 2 good games and 4 bad games. The reason why I could see you guys being interested, though, is because Harrison Barnes to me looks like a guy who's once again checked out. He looks disinterested. He just looks like he doesn't want to be here. And you can't blame him. He's a vet. He wants to be on a playoff team. He has a championship. He's been on a very good Warriors team. He's been on a good Dallas team. And now he's ready to move on. And I think putting him next to guys like Jalen and Jason, allowing another wing to just really fit in with them. You can bring him off the bench. You can play him as a 4. He's a really good defender. You can put him against the team's best player. You can have Harrison guard them, and you can have Jason kind of hide off and really relax on the defensive end, which is huge for you guys because
Which would
Jalen,
excel him on offense. It'd give him
yeah,
so much more ability on offense.
exactly. And you get more out of him on offense. So that's a real big positive in bringing a guy like Harrison. And then Rashawn is an absolute steal. Now, the reason why I say this is because Rashawn Holmes for a first rounder. You might be thinking, why would we give up a first rounder for Rashawn Holmes? Rashawn Holmes is one of the most valued centers in the league, and right now
Yep.
has the best contract for that player in the league by far. You can look at every contract and you won't find a better contract fitting for a player that does as much as him. Rashawn Holmes is a defensive monster right now. Now, is he going to stop Joel Embiid? No. But he has played on the same team as Joel, Caleb. He was on the Sixers. He was on the Suns. He's played against Ayton. He's played against Embiid in practice. He knows these guys' skills. He knows what these guys like to do. Rashawn is not a guy that's just going to let up. He's a guy that fits Boston's culture perfectly. And I think that trade would be a huge, huge benefit to you guys. Now, will Sleepy Danny do it? Likely not, because we know how he does. He likes to sit on his hands and he just likes to wait until something happens, comes falling out of the sky, which doesn't ever really happen. And that's why Boston's stuck in their position they are in every single year. So, Celtics fans, be on the lookout. That trade deadline, the trade cannot happen until February 28th because you guys just tried to sign Tristan Thompson. Now, will it happen? I don't know. But don't be surprised because the Kings are going to be shopping Rashawn Holmes. Breaking news. I have you here first. The Kings will be shopping Rashawn Holmes within the next month. Rashawn Holmes will not be on the Kings next month.